Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Article comes to you guys from Phone Arena. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So T-Mobile faces a new opposition in the U.S. Cellular deal, and this was an official filing to the FCC. So this is an official thing, and it could lead to what the opposition is saying. It could lead to, and they're encouraging the FCC to block the U.S. Cellular acquisition by T-Mobile, and it's the CWA, the Communications Workers of America, and the Rural Wireless Association (RWA). EchoStar is on it as well, and they're saying it's going to lead to some rural shutdowns, some cell sites being completely shut down that don't make financial sense for T-Mobile to be there, right? Even though they got the cell site with the acquisition, but it might not make financial sense entirely for T-Mobile to be there, so they might pull out of those areas. It's very possible. It's not really what we're seeing publicly. T-Mobile's trying to extend and expand its network, right? The small market rural areas. There's people out there saying that the sites that T-Mobile is building is just license protection. I don't see that being the case because T-Mobile is deploying multiple sites. And in some cases, like I recently seen in Cloudcroft, they have better coverage than even AT&T in those parts. If you're just doing license protection, you're just building, and Dish used to do this, you're just building one site, you're building it very low on the rack, and that's it. You're building one tower in that entire county for license protection. That's what Dish used to do. You don't build and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars building multiple towers for just license protection. You don't do that. Even Verizon with the whole millimeter wave license protection, they've only done like one, right? In some areas where they couldn't build it out much, they're only building, and they're building it on their own cabinets for the cell site, right? Where they want to do license protection. I've seen that. So I don't believe that's the case. I think T-Mobile is truly trying to expand the network, but it just takes them time to get there, right? So for competitive reasons, right now they have to get into these areas because there's one less competitor and they got to grow their market share. And this deal makes it easier for T-Mobile and quicker, as I've said before. It's going to take a while. Either they do it this way or they're just going to break through and take U.S. Cellular customers. Either way, it's gonna work for T-Mobile, right? So that's what the opposition is claiming, that it's going to lead to a rural shutdown. See, it says here the coalition has warned that the sale of U.S. Cellular operations could harm rural connectivity, and saying that if T-Mobile is not incentivized to be there, they might completely shut off coverage in that area. You see it right here. T-Mobile may not find it financially viable to continue providing services without subsidies and may shut down the towers in rural areas as a result. I don't see that really being the case. Are they going to get everywhere? Very likely not. They're probably not going to get coverage everywhere right off the bat. But as we've seen, right, you got to take a look at it from both sides. As we've seen post Sprint merger, T-Mobile didn't entirely follow what they said they would do, right? They said it would be job positive day one. We all knew that was kind of going to be BS because they had a lot of redundant positions within the companies. Yes, they're a growing company, but they had too many positions. So job positive day one wasn't really going to pan out, and it didn't, right? It led to thousands and thousands of people being laid off, stores being closed. And we will very likely see the same on the U.S. Cellular deal, right? I'm on board with that. I can't disagree with the fact that there's going to be stores that are going to be closed. There's going to be redundant positions that are going to be laid off. I can't disagree with that because I know for a fact that's going to happen because we've seen it already. We saw it with Metro PCS when T-Mobile acquired them. We saw it with the Sprint merger, and we're going to see that again with the U.S. Cellular acquisition. I still think this acquisition is going to go through because it's a much bigger acquisition now. It's not just focused on T-Mobile. It's also AT&T and Verizon getting more spectrum assets as well. So I think from an overall perspective, I still think this gets approved. But there seems to be much bigger opposition to the deal than previously known. I know there were some agencies and others that were against the deal, but now it looks like they're speaking up, and this to me signals that the deal is close to closing. Right, there's a clock that the FCC tracks 180 days. It's closing in, I think, like on 150 days. So the FCC doesn't have to wait for the entire 180 days. They can approve the deal pretty much any day now. But I know there's been some recent letters that have been sent out that T-Mobile needs to remove the DEI initiative for them to get the deal, or it might be blocked. So I think that's the last thing that's pretty much holding up the deal. I think T-Mobile anticipated the U.S. Cellular acquisition to close in May, and we're closing in. We're almost in April, and I think sometime either mid to late April or early May is when we will get the approval. That's just my opinion. I think this deal gets approved because it has much bigger implications. We don't have any spectrum in the pipeline currently, and this deal gives the carriers more spectrum. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.